Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are blowing things up and I've got my favourite explosive expert here, Paradise.
I'm back.
He's not an actual explosive expert, but he does say some wild things that... So, today we're going to be showing you off a build. We're going to jump into the box. Look at this, guys. A YouTube video that shows you the build straight away.
Straight away, that's what we like to see.
So... before we actually get into like talking through all the parts and everything, I just wanted to go over a couple of things that to talk about Blast, and just give a shout out to my boy Riaka, because he posted this on Twitter, but I was building it anyway, and I was just like, it wouldn't be right.
Perfect. It was perfect timing.
It was perfect timing. It wouldn't be right to not give him a shout out, because he kind of just reinforced that I was probably choosing the right parts for the right kind of build in this instance. So definitely give him a follow. Amazing guy in the community. Streams over on Twitch from what I remember, and does content creation as well. If you don't follow him, definitely give him a follow on Twitter as well, and I'll post up his build here so you can actually see what he's using. And I think he uses a couple of different like gems and a different talisman as well, so you guys can see.
He's a cool guy as well. He's chill.
He's just a cool guy. Chill. So Blast, what we saying? What are we saying about Blast?
So, I got a bit to say, because I have said in multiple videos that like Blast isn't as good as it used to be. It's kind of like bottom of the barrel status, and I put more thought into it, tried out a few different builds, and this is the conclusion I've come to, okay? First of all, as you may know, Blast is like a continuously active skill throughout the hunt. Like, you'll be getting Blast ticks all the way till the end of the hunt, whereas with other statuses, you'll get like 2, maybe 3 maximum at a push. So it's useful throughout, and it also is really good for part breaking. And a lot of the decorations in Rise need like the medullas and this part and that part that you can only get by breaking particular areas of certain monsters. So part breaks become super important when you're making those decorations, and Blast just does it easily, passively on its own. So I actually think having either someone with Blast on your team or just using it yourself in a solo hunt is a really good way to guarantee those part breaks and get those like items you need for the decorations. So I'm putting respect on Blast. You know, I wish it did 50% more damage than it does now, but it's pretty good.
Well, talking about damage in general, in our original Blast Teostra Soul kind of investigation that we did when we went into test, we found out why people are seeing different numbers, because a bunch of you guys in the comments said that you saw 144, a couple of you guys said that you're seeing 120. Well, on the Toad, you'll hit 120 because that is assigned as a low rank monster, and Blast has different based on your HR that you're going through. So if you're in 4 rank and above quest, and if you're in HR rank quest, then it'll be doing 144. It won't do more damage based on how susceptible that monster is to Blast. That will just mean that you're getting way more build up, so you can get Blast triggers faster, if you get what I'm saying, rather than more damage. So if you're seeing 120 on some monsters, that's because you're hunting low rank and you should have caught up to us in high rank. What are you doing? What are you doing? But
wait, are people still in low rank? I mean,
no, they're going to be.
If you're new at the game, you know.
And if you're chilling, people got a life, innit? They're going to go out. They're going to be in low rank. That's a joke, by the way. So yeah, if you're in low rank, it was going to do 120, which is a massive amount, because if you're hitting 120 and you've got this like really like small monster and you've just gone into like low rank, 120 is a huge amount of damage to that monster. So if anything, it does more damage in low rank in terms of like relative value than high rank,
because like monsters in high rank are just stronger, like more health, and they deal more damage. That's
So with this build in general though, before we step in, this can be used with any of the Teo Blast weapons, or just Blast weapons in general, but it works best with Teo Blast weapons because they've got that lovely ramp skill on it called Teostra Soul that increases the blast damage. So it goes from 100 to 120 in low rank to 144 in high rank. Then you can assign that onto your weapon. I've used the Hunting Horn, I've used the Jewel Blades. I feel like the Jewel Blades are one of the best, alongside with the longsword. Maybe that's just because I use a longsword a lot, but I feel like the longsword is being slept on as a status weapon because Sakura Slash is just, you're spinning around. Paradise was like, 2-6, you using Sakura Slash? That is big brain.
I just like Helmbreaker is the way to go with like traditional longsword builds. If you don't know, Sakura Slash is you just use it at any point. You sort of lunge forwards and you do a hit on the monster, and then it does like a bunch of tick damage. And because status is a proc chance, you want to be hitting as much as possible on like separate hits. That's why dual blades are really good as well, because they're very rapid hitting. So the Sakura Slash on longsword is a really good way to apply status as well, which is something I never really thought about. And you know, think of the possibilities with that Sakura Slash for different statuses.
Yeah. I'm going to go through the build now, but you guys can tell me which way that you find it easier for you guys to follow the build. Do you want me to go through each part and explain it? But I feel like if you're looking for a build, you kind of are somewhat knowledgeable about Monster Hunter and kind of know what the skills do in general anyway, so I don't need to really talk through every skill. Would it be easier for me to just be like, here's the priority skills that you need as a necessity in the future, and then just drop those in and just be like, oh yeah, this is what you need, and then go through the parts that are super required? Or do you want me to run through the whole thing and give you a full explanation of every part? Today I'm going to run through the whole thing and give you a full explanation of like every part. But next time I would just really want to just cut these videos down and just get you guys the information that you need to get running, essentially. So, Kaiser Crown. You don't need this part. You can swap it out for whatever you need. This is just there for extra damage and makes it fit really nicely with everything. The Jelly Chest. Needed. This gives you free blast. Huge. I'll put a little speed sharpening on there so I can sharpen my sword a little bit quicker. Huge. Blast attack. More build up. Faster build up means more explosions. Kaiser Van Braces. It's got Teostra's Blessing. Another essential skill. You only need level 2 in it. To get to level 2, a bust on the waist. So we've got our little trousers on there and our little waist, our little belt. That will allow us to get Teostra's Blessing too. That is also to do with build up as well. That is 10% extra build up. Paradise.
And you only need 2 pieces. If you go more on the Teostra Blessing, it starts doing like other things that you don't need for like Blast. So just the 2 levels of Teostra Blessing is like the sweet spot.
Yeah, have you used Teostra's Blessing at Paradise?
I've experimented with the Invader Blast weapons, but I haven't tried it with like the Teostra Blessing yet as well. So
cool.
You know, just mixing up, seeing how they're performing and stuff. But for this build, like those Teostra Blessings are going to be really, really important, especially because you're using the Teo Blast weapons that have the ramp up skill on them that we talked about before.
Then we've got the Ingot Greaves. These can be swapped out, so you can wear your Rajang Disco trousers, or your Tobi Kadachi trousers, or your there's a couple of other different variations on the trousers that are really good to pick from as well. I slotted in 3 mil in there. Don't sleep on 3 mil, guys. When you're popping those potions and you're not using them, they're saving you money. It's like going to McDonald's and using a meal deal voucher or whatever. Do definitely think about slotting in meal deals until they add...
You know what's even nicer about them? When you pop that mega demon drug or that mega armor skin and you don't even use it because it gives it to you for free.
Yeah. And then I'm still using the Demon Petalace. I haven't swapped over to the Rarity 7 ones. Have you swapped over to the Rarity 7 Petalaces?
They have a lot. They have more in every other skill, but you lose attack.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd rather have 5 more attack than have like 20 more HP, you know?
Yeah, definitely. This is the one for the sweat. And then on my talisman, you guys probably got better talisman than this. I do have an attack 3 talisman, so you can swap this out for whatever you want to kind of make the build work. But I'm using Part Breaker on here so that I can get those part breaks even quicker. This was a Paradise suggestion. Paradise was like, what about Part Breaker?
Traditionally, you take Blast to break the monsters like different areas, and Part Breaker just makes that even easier and more efficient. So like Part Breaker is a really good pairing with Blast status builds. So I would recommend, if you have a Part Breaker talisman, to bring that, and if you can get a level 3 one like this, then even better. But also, because those blast ticks are like magnetizing towards the other like breakable hit zones, Part Breaker is just going to be, you know, it's just extra efficiency added in over and over again. So don't sleep on Part Breaker. And as we get, we might even get like more monsters in the future where Part Breaker becomes more important, because if you play Monster Hunter World, you have things like KT. I can't even remember the full name. I
Kolv
just remember it's KT. Kolv Taroth, that's it. Had like all the golden bits on it, and you would break them off, and then you'd pick up the shinies, and you'd be able to like sell them for good zenny. So maybe if we get any like monsters that synergize with Part Break, it'll become even more important. But it's very good for blast builds.
Yeah, so this is a good one to run with like your team, or to go into hunts where you're looking for something very specific. Like you're probably going to need something similar to this for your Nagakuga runs, because you're going to need the medulla to make sure that you can get your Wex gem, your Wex decorations actually on the go as well, because there's a load of parts that you need to break to get a high percentage drop chance on those. So definitely think about building this. This doesn't need to be used with dual blades. This can be used with any of the weapons that Teostra has on board, and yeah, definitely try it out. And I think a lot of you guys will like it as well. You would have seen the B-roll in the background of me getting like just loads of explosions, and this is definitely one that you can whip out in your repertoire of your hunts and just show off to people, just getting part breaks every 2 seconds. So build this. You get to try out a new skill that's been added to the game, so that the game stays fresh as well, rather than just using the same old like damage meta must do deeps.
Your friends will love you because they're getting all the part breaks, which means they get all the extra rewards at the end as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is it for the video. I don't think there's anything else I need to necessarily go over anymore. So you guys seen the build. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you liked it. Remember, but do not look at those explosions. That is the most important. when you get this build on, if you're using a longsword and you're using your Sakura Slash, don't look at the camera. Cool kids, don't look at the camera after those explosions. But Paradise, what video are you doing today, dude?
Well, you know I love my buddies, my Palicos and my Palamutes. You know, they increased the level cap to 50 with this new update, so I'm going to show you guys how you can level your Palicos and Palamutes up pretty quickly, pretty easily, so you can get that new Argosy skill.
That's why you want it.
Items.
That's why you want it, guys. So in the latest update, they've actually, I don't know if you noticed, but they've added an additional option for your Argosy, so that you can actually like farm out materials that are rarer as well. So I haven't actually got it, so I don't know how efficient it actually is. But Paradise's video will show you how to level up your Palicos and your Palamutes as quickly as possible. And I feel like a bunch of this information there is going to be applicable to a load of different things as well. So just watch that video and it will help you out with your whole Monster Hunter play, basically. All you have to do is just click the link in the description and go there, and the video should be live, probably before this actually. So definitely go check out that video. Anyway guys, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hey guys, this is Editor26 here, and in retrospect I could have been a bit more clearer about this. So you can get more damage from blast depending on how susceptible they are, but it isn't to do with like your traditional 2-star thing on the icon in the menu. So if you look in your hunter's notes, you'll see that there is a blast section, and if you drill down into it a bit more, you'll see a damage bar. You can see here Teostra is only 2-star or 2 blocks of damage, meaning that you're going to do the 144. But if I go to Raja, I'm going to see is 3 bars of damage, and I'm doing 216, as you can see in the B-roll in the background. I was clapping Rajang. So that is a huge difference, and I don't know if that's been in a Monster Hunter game before. You guys can correct me if it has been, but like, yeah, that is awesome that that's a thing, and that's one of the reasons that I've jumped on Blast now.